Hey everyone, my name is Evan. I'm back with some competitive Fortnite news. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, follow me on all my social media. There'll be links in the description below. Let's get right into things. So, Fnatic, one of the tier 1 organizations in Fortnite, one of the biggest orgs in all of esports, has recently made it known that they will be toning down their Fortnite division. What does this mean? This means that the players that they currently have signed to their roster, a couple of them will not be re-signing. Verox and Provoked announced yesterday that they will be unrestricted free agents, which means that they are still currently signed to Fnatic, right, as their contract says, but they are going to be looking for other opportunities as they will not be re-signing, and Fnatic has allowed them to do so. Motor, on the other hand, is no longer part of Fnatic. His contract has ended, and that just leaves Smeeth as the only remaining, active player who will, I guess, re-sign or just remain for however long his contract lasts. This is obviously a really interesting, kind of topic to discuss, because where Fnatic is one of the bigger orgs in Fortnite, we're starting to see a trend of, the big tier 1 organizations be less invested in the competitive scene, right? At least it's something we've seen in EU. We obviously saw a couple months ago, Misfits let go of a bunch of their EU players. They let go of Ares, Kylix, and Osmo, leaving Andretta as the only player. And they're an org where, they're kind of rumored to maybe be picking up some more players, and obviously their NA division is doing pretty well with Clicks, leading that way. But it's pretty interesting, man. We've seen a bunch of tier 1 organizations kind of tone down their Fortnite divisions, and it begs the question, right? What is going wrong with competitive Fortnite that orgs are becoming less and less invested in the comp scene? Obviously, I've been someone where I've said for a long period of time that orgs just haven't been kind of incorporated into Epic's competitive plan. As much as there's a bunch of valid reasons as to why Epic may not want to include organizations into their plan, it doesn't necessarily help, right? Because these orgs are what allow a lot of players to be able to compete professionally and make it their livelihood, right? Epic don't pay these players salaries. A lot of these orgs do, and a lot of orgs provide stability for players to be able to live and compete. So it will be interesting to see whether, with a new competitive Fortnite announcement, maybe we see more and more orgs get involved. Obviously, last year when the World Cup was announced, we saw there was a frenzy. All the orgs were trying to pick up as many players to go and compete in the World Cup finals. And since then, since the World Cup finals, we've seen a lot of tier 1 orgs and a lot of just tier 1 players as well just become free agents and not be signed to any orgs. And it'll actually be interesting to see whether we see this trend sort of continue, or whether the new season coming up pretty shortly will kind of revitalize the state of orgs in the competitive scene. And obviously, there was a tweet from the actual CEO of Fnatic who kind of just made it clear, right, to clarify, hey, we're just turning down our Fortnite division. Things haven't necessarily turned out the way they would have thought in terms of competitive Fortnite, and it makes a lot of sense. I can assure you there are a lot of orgs who are not getting their returns on investment in the Fortnite competitive scene, which obviously makes a lot of sense as to why they'd be kind of, investing less and less into it. Speaking of free agents and players getting signed, Nyrox, one half of the Fortnite duo champions, has announced that he is going to be signing. Nyrox was formerly of Cooler, and he has not found a home since, right? Obviously, it's been a while since he's been on an organization. He parted ways with Cooler quite a while ago now, and Nyrox has still remained as one of the premier Fortnite players. And he's a superstar, quite frankly, right? He doesn't stream as much, but when he streams, he does some pretty decent numbers. And when it comes to just Norway, he's kind of seen as a superstar, right? Ever since winning the World Cup, he's been seen as kind of a gaming superstar in Norway. He's a massive brand. Really happy to see he's found himself a home, and I cannot wait to see where he signs, right? Obviously, there's a lot of conspiracy around who's going to be doing what, where players are going to be signing. A lot of top tier, high caliber players, big brand players who are free agents right now. Obviously, Unknown announced that he's going to be signing. Savage leaving NRG, and he announced that he has something coming up pretty soon. And obviously, Nyrox is someone who's on that list of top tier players who do not have a home yet. So be interesting to see who he signs for. Obviously, we have DreamHack Anaheim coming up. Maybe he announces before then, and he represents them during that, or maybe it'll come after. We'll just have to wait and see. Now to something a bit less serious. Fortnite trolled the entire community. Fortnite rickrolled the entire community, and a lot of people have not been rickrolled in a long time. I know me, myself, I haven't been rickrolled in a really long time, but this one got me, man. It was super unexpected. Around midnight yesterday, Epic tweeted out from the Fortnite game account. They tweeted out a link to a YouTube video, right? And everybody was a bit confused. The thumbnail was something really, really random. I'll probably have it up on screen now, right? But it was a super weird link. Everybody was like kind of tagging it like, what the hell's going on? What is this? And some people were fueling the troll, right? Some people were kind of baiting people in like, what is going on with competitive? You know, just making you want to click on it. So I click on it, and what do I get? I get Rick Rolled. It's an emote. It's a new emote that they added to the game. With the actual Rick Roll music, which is why it's funny, right? The song from Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up, playing the actual music, and the character, and your Fortnite character does the dance that he does in the music video. It's super, super cool, right, when you think about it, and it's super funny that Epic did that. Obviously, like I said, man, people haven't been getting Rick Rolled in a couple of years, so it was nice to kind of put everyone back on their toes, man. You gotta stay safe in these streets. But, you know, as much as it is super, super cool, it also has its downsides, right? Because Epic actually did use the original song, the Never Gonna Give You Up song from Rick Astley. And what that does mean is that content creators are going to be getting demonetized from using the song, right? Obviously, YouTube has a library where it shows you if you use what song, are you allowed to use it, what it does if you do use it. And Rick Astley's song actually does demonetize your video, right? If you use a song in your videos, you will not be able to monetize your videos. And what this means is that if somebody has the emote and they just walk into your character's, you know, area and they start doing the emote, you know, you could get your video demonetized, right? If you have a random YouTube video, somebody could just be doing the emote in the back and your video gets demonetized. So this is super, super bad for a lot of content creators, and a lot of content creators have actually come out and said that, you know, this is super, super bad and that, you know, we should be careful. And a Flea made a tweet about it. Maselk made a tweet about it. I have that on the screen for you guys. But yeah, it's super, super, super cool that they did this. But at the same time, it also might have to be addressed, because that could become a serious problem for a lot of the content creators in our community. Finally, we have the Elite Cup featuring Fortnite. It's going to be happening on Saturday. As I'm recording this, it should be happening in a couple hours now. It's a $10,000 event, and it's going to be so, so cool. It's an online event, but we're going to have multiple regions competing, EU and NA. It's going to be super, super stacked. I'll have the lineup on screen for you guys. And this is super great because it's actually Epic working with the practice server to provide an event that Epic are going to be funding. This is super, super great. Obviously, we saw practice server collab with Epic on the Search and Destroy tournament, the little show match that they had, and that was great, man. That was great. And for them to be doing this weekend is even more amazing, right? I'm a big fan of what the practice server are doing. I've been able to have some conversations with some of them about you know, what it is that they're doing and how things have come to be. Obviously, you know, I'm not able to share certain things about the nature of the relationship and how things have come to pass, but I can assure you guys, this is only a great thing for the competitive scene. I know a bunch of players were kind of complaining, saying, "Hey, look, I'm going to DreamHack Anaheim and I've not been invited to this event. How can I play?" Right? Because this is obviously this event, for the most part, almost everybody competing in this event is going to be playing in Anaheim, right? So this is kind of like a pre-Anaheim event, right? We're going to see who's going to be coming in hot going into Anaheim. But guys, people need to be aware, this is something that has been in the works for a while now. So the final list of players, you know, it's kind of final, man. It's been like that for a while, I can tell you that. And you shouldn't be discouraged, man. You shouldn't be discouraged. There are still plenty of ways to practice out there if you really, really want it. And if you do, you know, do well in DreamHack Anaheim, I'm sure the next time an event like this happens, you can find yourself being invited. What I will say, though, is that this is another thing that Epic have done to show us that they are really interested in helping third-party organizers and kind of building up the competitive community more and more and more, right? Obviously, I recently casted the War Legends Series Invitational with my boy Clay Stelling, and that event was a €50,000 event, a squad event, near the middle / start of the season, and that was funded by Epic as well, right? That was a super, super great event, and to see them continuing to help out the comp scene and to provide money for these events is super, super cool, and I can't wait to see how the event goes. I'm going to be watching it. You should be watching it as well, and it'll be a great time. So be sure to check out the practice server on Twitter, as they'll have some information about that. And if you're watching this and the event has already happened, I'm sure there'll be some highlights and things that come out based on that. So, you know, that's all the news for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said at the start of the video, be sure to like, subscribe, give me some feedback. Let me know what you guys think of everything we talked about. Let me know, where do you think Nyrox is signing? What do you think is going to be the future of orgs and competitive Fortnite? My name is Levin. I'll see you guys soon.